Good morning. We're gonna kind of do a garden update here before it gets too bright out. It's pretty bright over in the other side of the garden, but it'll be fun anyway. We've got our trellis dwellers. We've got the honey, that one's honey bear squash. I did thin it down, and we'll go check on those plants in a little bit. I have been digging them out and transplanting them. I was actually able to give some to a friend, so that's really exciting that they're not just pulled out and dead and gone to waste. These are the honey nut ones that I was really able, they did really well pulling them out, so I know I'll still probably need to thin them, but I might leave them. I might leave 2 plants in that one, 3 in this one, and just see how they do. If they start to struggle throughout the summer, we can always pull one. Here's the Kajari melons. That one I definitely will bring down to 1 or 2 plants. We'll see how well they do. They're not growing super fast right now, so. And the sunset runner beans, I'm just loving them. I did find a leaf on the ground just now, trying to find where that came from. I am not insulting Bill, but it does look like he mowed last night, so there's a chance that that's from the mower and not from a rodent, and I'm totally fine with that. I would way rather it be from the mower than a rodent. So and then just some of the tomato garden over here. We've got these guys getting bigger again with the mesh around some of the more I don't know, sentimental tomato plants that I really don't want. I really don't want them ruined. This is that big, beautiful yellow daylily. I look forward to that blooming. A few tomatoes over there. I did buy some annuals to run along the front here, and as you can see, I pulled out the edging that is too short. So I'm still unsure what I want to do here. If I want to maybe just buy some little bricks to run along there, or something not too expensive that will make it look good. The cannas are coming in really nice over here. They're getting their noses out of the ground. It's having a hard time focusing on them, but their little noses are all over here. There's a toad that's living over here, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't jump up and run. He usually does. Little tomatoes over here, just getting big and full. It's so fun to see. There's something to be said for our super well-drained soil, that things do grow quickly in it. These are the red-skinned dahlias, doing really well, and the estelbi that is starting to just send up its blooms. This one is white and pink. Few little cosmos that I planted back here, and the sunflowers are starting to really take off and get big, so looking forward to that. I don't know if I should thin out those 2 plants. There's 2 here, and there's 2 that are kind of spun together there. I don't know if that's kind of stunting the growth or not. And the blueberries that are starting to grow, all the different types of blueberries on them. It's really exciting. I did notice that these ones were starting to really, I don't know if it's going to have a hard time focusing on them or not. There we go. They're really starting to balloon out and become sweet little blueberries, so I'm really excited for that. We have plans to kind of expand this area, give them some more room, and make them really healthy. So. And then over here is my trumpet vine. That is the struggle is real for this thing. It does look like it's getting a little bit of new growth here. That's a good sign, but something's up with it. So Bill came up with a really good idea that we have this patio here, and um, as weird as this little rock outcrop part looks here, the reason that we have it there is because there's a little slab of concrete under there. And so in order to sort of make it blend with the rest of the landscaping over by the air conditioner over here, we put these rocks in. But we're having a little bit of problem. Well, it's not a problem, but the green stock planter is just giant, and it's so beautiful, but it's really taking up a lot of our patio. So Bill came up with a great idea that he is going to build another little level to the patio here, and have that be sort of, I don't know, a little patio off the patio. So that's what we're going to do today, dig this rock out and then get the little patio built. I always love the garden over here. It's so pretty. These hostas are just little and full little hostas. This one is exploding with growth. It's so happy to be over here. The little dahlia is gonna come in nicely. that poor little marigold got stepped on, but he's recovering fine. He's got bloom under his butt, but that's okay. And the pretty little hostas with the lilies coming up behind it is just really fun, and the lilies are really starting to put on blooms, so we're going to have really showy lilies this year. It was a slow start, but it's nice to see them coming in. These pots are over here still from we'll probably finish the project alongside the patio this weekend, but this pot might not go back in there because it's doing so well, and it's so beautiful over here. Really has exploded with growth and just this red begonia. I'm in love with that. That's so neat. So, and the New Guinea impatient and the snapdragons, and just the far away view of the patio over here, and all the beautiful things that are growing on it with the ivy geraniums and the dark reds, and just enjoying that. The little water feature over there with the mandevilla that's starting to vine finally, and the green stock planter that's blooming so nice, and hopefully really soon we'll get the blooms on the dahlias, and maybe even some blooms on the nasturtiums. Mortgage lifter tomato, this is my biggest tomato of all of them that I grew this year. This one is winning the race of the biggest tomato plant, at least. The exciting part, if I can get in here and get a view of it, is that feels like there's a little tomato in there. So I think we've got our first mortgage lifter tomato. In a view of the back garden, the vegetable garden, I moved all of the vegetables that were along here because of bunny damage. And yeah, he ate my broccoli. I was mad. The herb garden down over here is doing really nice. It's kind of in the shadow there, but it's doing really great. Everything is just filling in really nicely. It looks like the peonies are going to bloom any second now. I keep thinking today will be the day, and then it's not quite there yet. I do need to figure out a stake, and that might be a project for this morning, just before the blooms come up and kind of fall over. Maybe I can kind of prevent the falling over, but these are the huge beautiful blooms of that. Pretty view of the garden with the rhubarb and all the hostas and the lilies and the catbird crying. This is the back peony with the hostas in front of it, and I mean, this peony has so many blooms on it. I'm so excited. I've never had this much success with a peony plant, so I'm really excited to see what this does. And again, I'm gonna need to today. I'm gonna take the time to stake it and support these blossoms somehow, because they really need it. Again, I didn't support my irises, and they have definitely flopped over. And yeah, well, over here is my Russian sage, I think. Just such a beautiful plant. Potatoes need to be mounded at least one more time. And the onions don't look like they're doing very well. I need to obviously come through and weed in there a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know how to grow onions, I guess. These, maybe they just need more light or something than over here. But, oh wow, Bill cleaned up that area really nice to make the hydrangea bush just doing amazing. It's such a beautiful plant. So funny how ugly it is early in the spring, and then, you know, by now it's just got these beautiful blooms and just this huge growth, and I love that plant. Here's another mortgage lifter just coming up, and he's got some really pretty flowers. We had a double bloom that I showed a while ago, and it fell off. So I probably played with it too much, but just come through and tap the plant every now and then. I know with the wind it's not necessary, but at least it makes me feel like I'm helping. So it's my way of helping my tomato plants. Here's all the vegetables back here inside the dog fence, aka rabbit fence. Again, all of the plants got moved from up by the raised garden to back here inside the fence because of the damage. You can see my cucumbers are finally gonna start to climb. It's just the temperatures have been so weird. I've got these shelling peas that are starting to climb. That's exciting. And then I've got rabbit damage on most of my broccoli. Like this one barely has any leaves left on it. I should have never left it out there. It does look like this stuff needs to be watered. I might need to come through and do some watering today. But that's okay. That's how these baskets are. They do good, but they do need to be watered a little bit more often. They do need to be watered a little bit more often than other, you know, in the ground things. Here's some giant tomatillos. They're so fun. This is such a fun plant. I love watching the growth on it. I have this plant, and then these are ones that I started from seed. I purchased this one at the greenhouse this year, but to just show the size of those, they're like the size of my hand, so it's really fun. I'm excited for it. Hop the fence here. These are the little ground cherries. This is my first year growing ground cherries, so another thing that I'm looking forward to trying. I've heard such amazing things about ground cherries, so I've got plants all over the place to experiment with how they're going to grow best, and I keep seeing little blossoms, but I don't see any fruit coming on them, so I really want to eat one. So hurry up and grow. We've got the 2 tomato plants that are protected from the rabbit, and the live trap that there's no rabbit in. An update on the hops. Going all the way up and starting to pile up on the top, and that's really fun. I'm so excited to see what this looks like. Here's some onions that are doing a little better. They're at least a little bigger plants than the others over there, so maybe they're okay, but is something really eating them? Is the bunny really getting onion breath? I don't know, maybe that's just normal damage. These ones are doing better. I don't know if they're supposed to flop over like this. The flopping is really bothering me. I want them to stick up straight, but I mean, that's never going to stick up that high. That's just not enough support. So here's the celery plants that I'm really impressed with these. I'm having a lot of fun growing these, so it looks like I'm going to have some fresh garden celery sooner than later, so it's really fun. And the radishes, I did have my first radish yesterday that I had for a snack after my salad, and it looks like just in a couple of days here these are gonna come out of there, so that's exciting. And the beets are finally really taking off with some healthy foliage that's standing up. And this is some Romanesco broccoli that's growing in a sad little cup in here, but once the radishes come out, I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna plant it in the raised garden up here and see if I can get some broccoli out of it. Maybe it's too hot and too late, but we'll see. This is some more buckwheat that I have growing in a pot back here that I need to find a good place for it. off the ground so the rabbit doesn't eat it. I do have some celery in a cup back here too that I need to probably get in the ground. I kind of leave extra vegetables plants when I have them. There's a bunch of extra tomato plants and just apparently a root beer can. But leave them back here, and then that way I can use those if other things die in the garden, and then I've got some backup plants, so that's kind of nice. Same with all of these tomatoes, and I have meated them a few times already, whether it's the rabbit or it's pretty much just been the rabbit. I was accidentally flailing around back here and knocked some stuff over, which scared the cardinal, and I believe she left her nest. Just for a minute. She's right there, I'm sure. Here's her little guy, though. There's only one in there right now. There is more eggs, but they haven't hatched. They've been there for a few days now. Here he is. Oh my goodness, I'm hungry. Hungry little guy. Here's my little grow table. Oh. We have a sad plant. Oh, we have a dead plant. I don't know what happened, but it broke off at its bottom. I don't know if it did I don't know. Well, there you go. Don't have to worry about that one anymore. But these ones look like they're doing well. These are Baker Creek salvias. This is my little mum plant that I rescued out of the garden. I've had this for years and years, so it'll be interesting to see if I can get it to turn into a plant. Some more Baker Creek salvias. Some little hostas. Oh wow, look at that. It's another salvia. Might need to start sharing those. This is my one little honey nut plant that I kept so far. Yeah, and he's just doing really well in here. I think I am going to try to transplant him at my mom's house. She lives out in the woods. I'm guessing that we're going to get something that's just going to eat them, but still be fun. Ooh, now this is the honey bear ones that were a little bit more established when I pulled them out of there, and so they don't look happy about being transplanted. The others just bounced right back. They never even wilted, really, but, yeah. Got the little wren house. Again, the wren is not scared of me at all. I'm only like 4 or 5 feet away from that, and he just does what he does. He's busy. Doesn't have time to, oh. He just pulled a poop out of there, which means that the babies have hatched. It's really exciting. Here's the some of the tiger lilies that are getting to be, I would say, almost 4 feet tall. Some bee balm, a screaming catbird, and a garden critter. The garden critter. So I think that's about it for the day. The sun is getting strong, and we've got a lot of chores to do today. It's the beautiful hosta and lily garden, and some of our tomatoes.